as people get on.
Okay.
We live? Are we live?
You can start talking, your camera's on.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Shane here with ROA Off-Road. Today we have a pretty cool, exciting video we wanted to go through. It is going to be about the reboot. So please feel free to jump on and ask any questions. This is a Pause trailer, off-road trailer. This is one of their newest models. This is one that I have been talking with Maynard about for a year, pretty much since we met them the very first time we went out to the factory. You know, just giving them feedback about things that they could do, things that they could change. One of the things that I've been pushing, which is actually funny because sometimes people, people think that we sell like the most expensive trailers and that we're always like charging too much for trailers. The reboot is a trailer that I've been like just, you know, talking to Maynard about for a year about saying, hey, we need a trailer that's cheaper. Like, so like we're not like all about just trying to sell the most expensive trailers. We would love to have trailers that everybody can afford. And so finally, Pause has done it. They have released the reboot, and we'll be the first ones to get it. So it is, I actually should find out where it is. It should be en route right now, headed from the factory to the ROA facility here in Utah. So I'm hoping we'll see it landing sometime during the weekend or the first of next week. So I'm super excited about it. As a matter of fact, we will be rolling out some exclusive content, some videos, some photos. But we're not going to like throw them on YouTube right away. We're going to actually send them out privately to everybody who goes down below. There's a link you can click on and sign up, put your information in there, and we'll send out. Sometimes like we get the content and it's a little bit more raw and it takes longer to get it to YouTube. So we just wanted to kind of do a little special exclusive thing for everybody and be able to release some of that stuff sooner ahead of the crowd, the YouTube crowd at least. So if you do want to see some of the reboot stuff, exclusive stuff, get answers to your questions, go down, click on that link and subscribe, and we'll be able to send some of that stuff out to you before anybody else gets it. All Terrain, what's up, man? Thank you for joining. Is a reboot going to be 4 seasons? The answer is no and yes. What he's done is he's created a few different options. So I'm really excited about this because everybody's been asking for a trailer that's not over $100,000, right? Because a lot of the trailers we sell, the premium top tier trailers, you're talking 120 to 150 grand. The reboot is going to be under 100 grand, pretty much no matter how you option it. I think if you fully load it out, you might, you know, go over 100. Well, you will go over 100 if you go too crazy and add everything on it. So it depends on which model you get. You can get a very, very basic model that will not be 4 seasons. If you add, or you get, I don't want to say they get the most premium model because that's not true. The way they're going to set it up is like a la carte, right? Where you can pick and choose. So there are a lot of different options on the reboot. So you can go very base, and it's going to come in a price range that's similar to other off-road trailers that you've seen that have a tandem axle, or the 4 wheels, I should say, not axle, because they don't have, there are no axles. They're independent suspension, but there will be options of different suspensions. So you will have a less expensive suspension that is still an independent suspension, but it's more of a torsion style with gas shocks, or you can go to the full-on MORRIDE with the air ride system, with the ability to level side to side and lift and lower. So it's going to kind of give you that flexibility to choose different things and not be stuck with just one and done. You know, a lot of the stuff that we've sold in the past, like the Black Series or the Conquerors, that the imports from China that come in from China, you know, they really don't give you options. It's one and done. They build it across the assembly line, they send it out, the HU19. And that's what I've been saying to Maynard. I said, man, if we could have like that style, that floor plan of like an HU19 with a queen size bed, a nice booth, you know, a big bathroom, a booth that could sit 4 adults comfortably, and this is what all the Reboot is. But, have it more in that competitive price point as the import, the stuff from China. And he's like, yeah, we can do that. Obviously, we can't make it at the same quality as the Pause, like a 20.3 or a 21.4. You're going to have to compromise on some things to be able to get it into a lower price, especially since it's made in America, right? We have higher labor. That's all there is to it. So the Reboot is coming. The Four Seasons package is definitely going to be an option. So I have some list of options here. So I'm going to kind of share some of the things with you, which is pretty exciting. And it will be exclusive. You're hearing it for the very first time right now, right here. So the stock furnace that you're going to get is, let me double check here really quick. I just want to make sure I don't say anything wrong. I think it's a Suburban single output unit. And that's going to be the stock. If you upgrade, you'll be able to upgrade to a Truma Vario Heat, and that will be a fully ducted furnace that will be ducted throughout the entire unit into the underbelly, and to be able to make the whole unit 4 seasons. So yeah, if you go with the standard, you're going to be that Suburban furnace with a single output to heat the box up. If you go with the upgraded Truma, you can have it ducted and have it 4 seasons. Now, as far as like when that will be, like I said, an a la carte option. You'll add the furnace and make it 4 seasons. They're not, from what I understand, and I got to double check. Maynard, stay tuned. Actually, Maynard, Daryl from Morride and Maynard from Pause. They're actually flying out to Utah next week because the units are going to be landed, and we're going to go out and do some marketing. Go and do a video shoot. And so I've been talking to him about it, but I'm going to, obviously, once it's here, I'm going to be asking a million questions. So if you have questions, feel free to ask them right now. Reach out to us, sign up, and we'll start sending some of that exclusive stuff out to you before anybody else. My understanding is the installation is going to be the same no matter what. So whether you buy the base model or you buy, a fully loaded model, you're going to have the same construction material, right? You're going to have the same insulation, the same fiberglass panels. It's different, the bigger pauses, the 20.3s, 20.4s, 21.4s, they have a composite wall. This is going to be constructed more similar to a trailer that you would see like an MDC, or similar to a Ember, where they're going to have aluminum skeleton, welded aluminum studs, and then there's going to be a fiberglass panel on the exterior. They're also similar to the old Explorers, the X-22s, how they were built. They don't look like them, but it's that construction method. So that is much cheaper than the composites that they use on the expensive posits, because those are very, very, very dense. They're actually also very heavy. So this, which is actually bringing the trailer in at a lighter weight, which is also something that I'm very excited about. The weight on it is coming in at, the dry weight is, let me double check. The dry weight sorry, I can't edit this video. I'm like, I feel so. The dry weight is just a little over 6,000 pounds. So I'm going to be pretty confident that an F-150 or a Chevy 1500 or Ram 1500 is going to be able to, or a Toyota Tundra is going to be able to tow this trailer. The tongue weight is 645 pounds. Pretty cool. Tires. Somebody asked tires. Let's go to tires. So the tires that I have on the list right now is a Goodyear Wrangler Workhorse. They're all-terrain, 225, 75 with a 16-inch rim. So there you have it. Now you definitely are going to have the standard unit. The base model is going to be well insulated. It's going to have heat inside the trailer. They still are putting actually tank heaters, pads on the water heater. So you still have some sort of cold weather stock, even in the most basic model. But if you want to go in the all-out full 4 seasons model, then you're going to have to upgrade to the Truma ducted furnace to get that heat throughout the entire trailer. But yeah, there you go, have on your tires. We got another question for? Okay, I want a huge bed and TV. I love outdoors, but I also love relaxing inside. Please tell me something good. Well, huge is relative. If you've looked at all the Explorers and the Imperial trailers, they put full-size beds in those. And those are definitely not huge, and they're full RV-size beds. Are you looking for an RV-size queen or a king? The new Pause is coming out with a true queen-size bed. And this is not an RV queen. This is a 60 by 80 residential queen. So that means you will be able to put any mattress you want in there. You will have the option of the electric lift bed that you'll see in some of the higher end models, the 20.3s or the 21.4. So you still will have that option, or you can just get the flat surface and have a stationary mattress in there of your choice. So it is a queen size bed. So yes, it is bigger than a standard RV mattress, which is nice. And there is, I mean, the TV is, I think, close to the same size, but I'm sure we can figure out how to get you a bigger TV. You know, I think that's always an add-on that we could do. We can figure that out. Bed is bigger. And also, it is a north and south bed. Going down, if you haven't seen the trailer, go down below and click the link, and that will take you to more information on the trailer. You guys, are there photos? Does that send them to, like, actual more information of the trailer, or is that just a sign up for exclusive content?
It's a little bit of both.
It's a little bit of both. Sorry.
Pictures here if you want to show.
So yeah, throw up a photo of the actual front area. Do we have new pictures? Because they've made some changes. Yeah, pull that one up. That's really good. Okay. So one of the things that I really like what he's done here is that is a true queen bed. So I think that's a good size. You can see there's some storage spaces up by the headboard area. So you can have some cell phones or books over there. But then you also have a full wardrobe closet that you can walk up to. So the trailer is a little bit wider than the standard pauses that are on the market right now. So they went about 10 inches wider. Hey, Maynard's just joined in. Hello, Maynard. What's up? Thanks for joining. So he'll be able to answer some good questions. He just said it is a 32-inch TV. And in order to display through the living room window. Yeah, so the reason why they did the 32 inches, because just like the other units, you can swivel it around and put it out the window and do tailgating on the outside. So that there's a reason for that. That's the thing that I like about Maynard, is he doesn't just do things just for the sake of doing them. There's a lot of thought process behind it. And that's because he's using them. He's actually out camping right now. I'll send this picture over to you, Brandon, so we can send proof that Maynard is truly a user of trailers. He's out with his sons right now going down to Virginia, and he texted me a picture of them actually set up camping. And I always talk about how it's so important for the manufacturer to use the trailers, and Maynard is a user, and that's why there's thoughtful design behind it too. Because if you're not always out using it, you don't realize, like, hey, this is kind of annoying. Why is it like this? So that's very cool. Anyway, sounds cool. Thanks. You're welcome. And also, if there might be a spot that we could add a larger TV closer to the bed so that you can lounge in your bed and watch TV. I love to relax and watch TV too, and I like to go outside. I do like the idea of being able to turn it out and have it outside, because there's nothing more fun than out camping and having a fire going and actually watching a movie outside. I actually think that's really fun. I did that as a child. My dad, we had this old 700 watt generator, Honda generator, built in like the late 60s, early 70s. It was my grandpa's, and my dad inherited it. And when we were out camping, we would actually fire that generator up and put a TV and a VCR out in the woods. Like, we'd have our campfire and the RV in the background, and we'd like watch a movie by the campfire. And that was like some of my most fond memories. And there's Maynard. There you have it. Those are his boys, and they're out camping. And did you add the mountains in there? Make it look little. You know, I think he's in Virginia. He's going down there to a conference. So anyways, next question, you guys. We got some questions coming in. Okay, talk about the four-person dining area. Yes, Craig. The main and most important thing that we talked about when we were at the factory was comfortably sit 4 adults and sleep at least one adult comfortably that's 6 feet tall or taller, a little bit taller. So the booth is long. You can see it in the pictures there. It's long and it's wide. If you go and compare it to the current pause, like the 20.3, you'll notice that TV in the back behind the booth. You'll notice that that's almost the entire length of the booth. This is now, and that's a 32-inch TV, just to kind of get some. It's hard without being there in person, but you can see that it extends beyond the 32-inch TV. So, yeah, I mean, like, it's still, you're still restricted to some trailer floor plan, right? Without putting it up in the front or the back and making it in a U-shaped booth. You can only go so wide before you actually start having issues. But the 38-inch wide by 6 feet. Okay, oh yeah, so it is 6 feet. That Maynard just jumped in there and talked about the booth. So I don't have the exact measurements. We just talked about it. And I was always like, let's make sure it's wide enough, so and long enough. So 6 feet by 38-inch wide. So you'll be able to sit 4 adults, squeeze in 4 adults, and easily have a family of 4, 2 kids and 2 adults. When we were at the factory going through it, that was kind of one of the things where I was saying, like, can we like make the counters not as deep and make the booth a little bit bigger? And that was something that I was really trying to focus on, just because I know so many people ask. I know we used to sell a bunch of the Black Series H219s, and that's what people loved about those trailers, is you had a queen size bed. By the way, it wasn't a true queen. It wasn't a residential. It was an RV queen, so it was short. It was cut off. This is a true queen. And also the booth looked nice, and it looked big, but you couldn't actually sit 4 adults in that booth. It was 2 adults with 2 small children. When you actually, it looked nice. When you actually got there, you were like, whoa, this is pretty tight. But one of the things that Maynard, I got a cushion on this chair. And it's slippery. One of the things that Maynard did, Brandon's laughing at me, watch me fall and get hurt.
Well, I watched it right here.
Did you watch me almost fall? So one of the things that we talked about was, Maynard was saying the best way to make that booth bigger is to make the trailer a little bit larger. And so it is about 10 inches wider than the standard pause. So you are a little bit wider, and for some people, I think 90% of the people, they won't even care. Some people might say, oh, now it's a little bit wider than I like, but whatever. I've heard that. Have you ever heard the saying that even in the golden ages, somebody, complained how everything was too yellow? No matter what, you can't please everybody. Somebody is going to be just mad no matter what you do. So it's either too skinny or too fat or too big or too small. Listen, we've heard it all. Yes, there is an outdoor kitchen. We're going to pull up some pictures here in just a second and showcase the outdoor kitchen. And keep the questions coming. Keep those rolling. And we can come back to it. If you have another question, we can come back. Oh, wait, never mind. We got it. Boom. There you have it. And you have your stove, your cooktop. You have a sink. You have some prep space. And listen, one of the things that I want to point out, because a few people have been like, wow, that thing doesn't look as nice as the current pauses or the Imperial 195. And I'm like, yeah, the 195 and the pauses range anywhere from $120,000 to $150,000. Like, the retail on them is like $150,000, $160,000. That's not what they sell for. But like, come on, people. Like, it's like saying, that Toyota Camry doesn't look as nice as the Lexus. Of course it doesn't. Toyota is a phenomenal car. And it's a car that you could put hundreds of thousands of miles on it. Very reliable. It's pretty much a Lexus, but it's a basic version of a Lexus, right? Lexus, you get a Lexus, it's really plush and nice and pretty. It costs, 80 something grand. But the Toyota only costs like 40 grand. But you're not going to get the same things that you'll get in a Lexus as you do get a Toyota. That to me is what the reboot is. It's still made by Pause. It's going to be very good quality. They're going to be standing behind the product. It's something that it's an incredible manufacturer to work with. And now you have the option to buy the Lexus or the Toyota. I'm really happy about it. I'm excited. And the outside kitchen does have hot and cold water. But I just want to point that out because a few people have been complaining, saying, "Man, the other models look nicer," and it's like, yeah, obviously. Somebody asked about the retailer. When can we see this at a retailer? Like I said, we'll have some here in Utah, like next week for marketing purposes. Of course, if you want to purchase one from us, you purchase it out of our South Carolina dealer. I think besides reaching out to us and finding a time to maybe potentially see one, you'll have to probably wait a month or so before they'll start landing across the country at the dealerships. George Fry here. What's up, man? How you doing? Love the offset bed. I think you actually pointed that out to me once, and I remember that. And I think that is a cool. I like how it allows you to be able to walk to the closet and open up and have shirts and dresses for the ladies, and it just allows you to to me, I think it's a great use of space, because do you really need to walk around the bed? And if you do, it's really tight when you walk in the door. So this is going to allow you to walk immediately into the trailer and not have it feel like you're walking into the bed, which is one of my complaints with some trailers that have the front bed. You walk into it and it's like you're running right into the bed, and then people coming dirty into your trailer. They're like brushing up against the bed. Anyway, so next question. Hey, Marcus. Hi, Shane. Wyoming Mountains calling here for a few reasons. I got stuck up here for the winter, and I must tell you, the first generation 23 made it through the freezing cold with flying colors. Skirted. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Marcus. Marcus owns a Pause. He was one of the very first Pause owners, and hopefully you're enjoying it overall. I know we had some things, and Pause just jumped on it and tried to get you all fixed up. Okay, so my experience with the walls, the actual composite walls are phenomenal on the 20.3s, the 21.4s. Like the heat transfer in and out are just so good. Whether it's hot or cold. So with skirting, if I don't know if people know what skirting is. It's like a canvas material that you can clip on around the bottom of it, and then it just allows so cold air doesn't fly under the trailer, and it's going to keep things from freezing. You have heated tanks too, and that's great. And you didn't even, Marcus, I don't think you had a winter package. So I mean, you went pretty stock, which is amazing, because the new units actually are ducted with heat. So Wyoming Mountains, what was the coldest you got, Marcus? I'm just curious, if you don't mind. Anyways, you can go to the next question. I hope Marcus comes back. So these are the walls. This stuff is insanely dense. Sorry, I know we're talking about Reboot, but this is not the Reboot wall. So don't want to deceive anybody. Like I mentioned earlier, aluminum studs with a fiberglass exterior with foam insulation between each stud, and then a fiberglass interior. So that's kind of a more standard way of building trailers. Maynard has said that on the studs they'll put an insulative material on the exterior before they put the exterior fiberglass on, and he says that will allow for it will create a better gap for thermal bridging, so it's not going to do that as much. It's a pretty new more innovative way of doing it. But this guy right here is the old Pause wall, and this stuff is insane and super dense. We've put screws into this, and we could not pull them out with pliers or anything. So that's the old Pause walls, and that's why I think, Marcus, you had such a good experience. So Marcus says he had no winter package. It got down to minus 15 degrees for a few days and never had any freezing worries. That's amazing. So 15 below zero, I think is what he's saying. 15 below zero, negative 15 degrees. That's incredible. That's better than advertised, because I don't think we just tell people 0 degrees, and that's with no winter package. Now, he did have skirting, so keep in mind skirting is important and key to this. But I knew they would do really well is because the extrusions that hold the walls together, they're all polymer. It's a plastic, a PVC, and then the walls are composite, and then the windows are also polymer, so you don't have any metal that's going to be creating conducting hot and cold into the trailer. So yes, negative 15 degrees. That's amazing. Okay, back to that other question. It said, water capacity. The water capacity, I believe, is 60 gallons. Oh, nope, I'm wrong. Not to disappoint. Sorry to disappoint you, but it's actually 65 gallons. There you have it. Pretty cool. I don't... I mean, I guess the current pauses are like 76, aren't they?
76.
Yeah, so a little bit less than the big pauses. But that's more than almost any other trailer that I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah, that's a lot of water. 65 gallons is a lot. 60 is a lot. Is this a bunkhouse? Let's see. No, it is not currently a bunkhouse. Potentially in the future, I'm sure Maynard will be on top of that, bringing out a bunkhouse. But if you are looking at a bunkhouse, look at the 21.4 pause. And then maybe in the future, you'll see a bunkhouse in the reboot. But right now, it is just a couples trailer, the queen bed and the booth. So more stuff in the works, but let's just... Right now, we'll move beyond that. So, George Fry, since Maynard is on, I want to pitch an off-road slide out in the future. Get your engineers on it, Maynard. Come to Roma Rally this fall. Love your trailers. George Fry is a roamer. He actually comes to the Roma Rally. Came to the Roma Rally last year, and we loved having George. And George was actually here today. I think I saw you briefly as I was running into the shop. Anyway... George Fry wants a slide out. I want a slide out. I'll talk to Maynard about it. I'm really pushing a slide out for an off-road trailer. I think it's totally doable.
Maynard's invited to Roma Rally?
Of course Maynard is invited into Roma Rally. Maynard, are you coming to Roma Rally? Bunkhouse Proto will be out within a month. Okay, next one. There you go. There you have it. Go look at the 21.4s because it's already available and it has a bunk model. And you don't have to wait, or you can wait for this one. So just depends on when you're trying to get it. If you want it for this season, the 21.4 is your best bet. Next question. Do we got another question?
No more questions.
Is that where we're done? No more questions. Nobody wants to know more about the reboot. Let me. Okay, show the new countertop is because I think that's really important. And this is okay. Oh, wait, a pause teardrop to compete with the Sherpa would be amazing. Seymour Butts. I love Seymour Butts. Best name ever. Hey, listen, don't get Maynard started because he'll probably go and do it. What's wrong with the Sherpa for now? We can get a teardrop. Pretty soon Maynard is going to make a trailer for every single category. And then what Maynard already said, stay tuned. We got some more exciting things this fall. That is true. There are a few other prototypes coming out, and they are pretty cool. I'm going to admit they're very cool. I'm very excited, so we'll just see that. Okay, let's go to the inside of this trailer. One of the things that I just want to say thank you so much to Maynard and the crew at Pause is go back to the other countertop, the original countertop. So the first countertop that they put in was that stuff right there. Do you see that to the left? And it's I was like, that's not like my preference. Maybe some people would love it. So we put a vote and we voted, and Maynard was like, you know what, we could change it. And just like boom, I think we had a bunch of roamers that we asked and our entire team. And now you have this, which I think is beautiful. I love the white, the marble. I think it's going to make it feel more open and larger. Also with the black fixtures, I think that's pretty. That's modern. I mean, I know nowadays gold and white marble or black and white marble is really in. Do you have pictures of the actual... So once again, like I've been mentioning, sorry, I'm gonna slide off the seat. Do you have the hard surface marbles? So this is not real marble or real Corian or whatever, the stuff that you were just seeing. That is a Formica or like a laminate. And so you might be like, oh, no, whatever. People, chill out. Calm down for a second, right? A lot of the trailers, even the expensive ones over $100,000, have some sort of laminate. So laminate can be, if it's done right, it can be pretty good quality. Obviously, solid surface and Corian is more premium. It is going to add more weight to it. But luckily, it's an option. So if you want the lighter, remember we said 6,000 pounds. The trailer at the base model is 6,000 pounds. So you got to start thinking, okay, I don't want laminate. I want solid surface. Okay, that's fine. Let's add a couple 100 pounds. I don't know the exact weights yet. We will have a lot of this stuff as time goes on. But, like if you're going to go with the single furnace or a ducted furnace, that might not add that much weight because you're also taking one out and putting one in. But so they're definitely going to be like, I would definitely say Corian is going to add more weight to it. Also, depending on your battery size and your solar banks, you're going to have a lot of different options. Now, is the pause fully kitted out with options getting close to a standard pause price? No, there's a good gap. There's still going to be, and we don't have all the pricing yet, honestly, where like that stuff is still getting put together. But so don't double quote me on this or hold me to it. But I think there's going to be a $10,000 to a $20,000 gap from the top end of the reboot to the bottom end of the standard pause. So, but keep in mind, a standard pause base battery, you can get a 500 amp hour, 540. I think it's 540, right? 540 Battleborn setup, or you can get 1080, right? So a base pause, at say with 540, still might be 10 to 20 grand more expensive than a fully loaded reboot that has 1080 amps of Battleborn, right? But there's definitely going to be some things that you're not going to get. Some of the things that are the most expensive are some of the Garmin features that you're going to have on the pause. The reboot doesn't have. There's also things like, I would say one of the biggest things is the cabinetry. They've gone to a wood cabinetry, so similar to what you're seeing in most of the off-road trailers on the market. Imperial does wood, MDC does wood. It is solid wood, so it's not like a honeycomb with it's a wood with a veneer on it. So that's an area that they were able to carve out a lot of price, because the fully like aluminum cabinetry is extremely expensive, right? And then the composite walls are also very expensive. As time goes on, we're trying to get some price sheets put together so we can kind of see like the difference. But in some instances, it's like 10 times more expensive for these cabinets versus those cabinets. And so that's it. Like, a lot of people have asked, hey, I want something that's more affordable. Well, you're not going to get you can't get a $140,000 trailer for $40 or $50 or $60,000. That's called impossible, because it costs more to build than that. People have to understand that. I think this is pretty obvious. Anyways, type of toilet. It's a standard black tank toilet right out of the factory. Once again, here at ROA, if you don't know already, we do lots of different options for toilets. We can do any toilet you want. I like the idea of having a black tank because some people in America don't. They still like black tanks, and in general, it's kind of nice to have it for the resale value, right, Craig? So think about it. You might not want a black tank, but what if 5 or 10 years down the road, life happens, that things change? You want to switch back. You want to sell your trailer. If you take it with a black tank and bring it to us and we swap it out and put a different toilet, usually we're just going to cap it off, put the toilet over it, so that you can, down the road, if you wanted to revert back to the black tank, you could. I like that. To me, it makes sense. But yeah, so we can definitely option the toilet. The inside fridge and freezer look large. Will there be an option for an outside fridge and freezer as well? I do not think there's space. There are some compartments out there, but I don't think there's an actual outside fridge and freezer that I'm aware of. Maynard, maybe you jump in there on that one. I know the inside fridge and freezer is very large. The cubic size, maybe I can pull it up here and see if I have the cubic size on it. I might not. Man, you guys are you're asking too hard of questions.
It almost looks like the one that's in the 16.4.
Yeah, it is large. I will TBD. That will come soon. And I don't think there is a fridge and freezer outside. There's a spot integrated for it at the moment. I love the interior color scheme. It's light and user friendly. Pick the 20.3 because of the floor plan. Yeah, no, it's just, and everything is totally different. I love what he's done with the lighting, with the rope lighting and the cabinetry above it, also below it. It's kind of got the reboot kind of has a modern, home. Whenever you're dealing with aluminum versus wood, there's something like wood kind of feels more homey. Obviously, wood has its pros and its cons, right? It's not as expensive as aluminum. Like, that's just a fact. But aluminum will last for ever, I want to say. I recently said it will last forever on a short, and I got a lot of hate for saying that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, people, chill out. Aluminum will last a long time, and I think I can pretty much be confident about saying it's going to last longer than you're going to last. You know, you're going to decompose before the aluminum will decompose. But yes, technically speaking, it's not eternal, okay? Jeez Louise, people sometimes. I love YouTube. Sometimes I get some comments where I'm just like, you got to have thick skin because people just really like to roast you. Maynard says, he jumps in and says, not as of now, but outside storage is large, and the refrigerator inside is 11 cubic feet. So that's a massive fridge. That's a very large fridge, and it's 12 volt. I'm going to say it's 12 volt. Next question. Do we got another one coming down the pipeline yet? Okay, instead of a bar, I installed a workstation, computer, video, and photography. That's really cool. So, like, he got the 20.3, and there's that, like, bar. And Marcus removed that and put an actual workstation. He's single, I believe. Sorry, I'm not trying to get personal with you, Marcus. Maybe he's got a girlfriend right now. But last time I checked, he was living in the trailer with himself and his dogs, your huskies, right? At least you had them near your trailer. I don't know if they're all inside your trailer. Anyways, but yeah, he's created a workstation in lieu of the bench and the bar stools, which is pretty cool. I do really love the current floor plans. I just took the 21.4 out. We have a video coming out this Sunday where I'm going to be talking about some of the updates in the 2024 models of the pauses, and there has been a bunch of different updates. Like they've made them all 4 seasons with ducted heating. They've moved to all Truma appliances. So the original 2023s had Suburban furnaces, Fagati water heaters. They've moved to a Truma, an on-demand with circulating. And Marcus says, ha ha ha, yes, single with dogs. Ultimate man cave. Yes, that's awesome. Anyway, so yeah, so stay tuned for that on Sunday. We're going to have an update on a bunch of pause updates for 2024, because a lot of people have been asking, oh, what's the difference? What's been updated? And a lot of people, like, just like cars, you don't always get a massive refresh every year with trailers. Like, cars sometimes can go 5 to 10 years before they get a total makeover. Toyota went forever before they did a makeover on all their vehicles. But generally there's going to be like annual updates of some sort, and Pause has made a bunch of updates, probably more than any trailer that I've ever experienced. They just went, I mean, Maynard really went from the very first units that they released last year to the current 2024 units that are coming out now. I don't even know how many he made. I'm sure if we were to catalog all of them, it would be 100 things that have been changed or improved. Some of the things you wouldn't notice. It would be like a bolt placement or here or there, or this is moved to this spot and it's set at that spot. So it's not like crazy changes, but there are some that are really big, and those are what I touch in the 2024 update video coming out this Sunday. So would you ever offer a truck slide-in camper, low profile and lightweight? I mean, I think there's a lot of people that offer that stuff, so I wouldn't. Yeah, it's just not been something that we do. Maybe you're referring to Pause and asking Maynard this question. I don't know if you're asking, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if you're asking me the question or if you're asking Pause the question. I don't know. I like trailer, tow behinds, towables. I'm not a huge truck camper fan myself. Doesn't mean like I'm against them. I don't know. Like that's like, but there are so many good truck campers out in the market. I don't know a lot about truck campers, so don't ask me. I did walk into a Lance recently, and I thought it was awesome. Anyways, go ahead.
This is part 1, and then Maynard replies.
Okay. Not sure how you can claim 4 seasons with aluminum walls. Why not? Okay, walls are only aluminum frame. Oh, sorry, if the whole wall is aluminum, yes. Walls are only aluminum framed. Wall is laminated with a foam over studs to limit thermal bridging. Walls are fiberglass with Asdel. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to like. Thank you. He's asking questions and Maynard's answering the questions. Yeah, so no, like if the entire wall is aluminum, yeah, obviously that wouldn't be a very Four Seasons trailer. And I don't think we've ever advertised a fully aluminum trailer as Four Seasons, except for Airstreams do have aluminum exterior walls in their Four Seasons, but that's because the way they're designed and built, they're built with insulation, so you can have the exterior of something aluminum if you have insulation. The issue is if you do aluminum with aluminum studs with aluminum interior walls. So yeah, so I can go into this like a lot because I feel pretty confident about. I've learned so much over the years about insulating trailers. So when the Black Series first came to the U.S., they were in no way, shape, or form Four Seasons, right? Water tanks were exposed on the bottom of the trailer, and the exterior composite material that formed the exterior wall was aluminum. Like it was a sheet of aluminum, right? And then there was a stud that was aluminum, and then the inside, on top of everything, the inside panel was also aluminum. So the whole thing was aluminum. So aluminum is one of the greatest conductors in the world, right? I think it's like copper, aluminum, gold, like they're like crazy. That's why radiators are made out of aluminum, because they want to dispense the heat, and so if you want something to conduct hot and cold really, really well, you use aluminum, right? Now, if you have a fiberglass skin that covers the aluminum, that's gonna prevent the bridging, right? It's about creating a bridge, or like creating something that blocks the I don't want to say it's the thermal barrier. It's like creating a thermal barrier. Sorry, my video guys are helping me. I didn't expect I was going to be talking about this in detail, but now what Maynard has done is on the aluminum studs, they've added a foam insulation material on the actual stud itself, which I've never heard of anybody doing that. So that's in itself something new that nobody has done. And then they apply the laminated wall on the exterior. And then in between each stud is a foam core or a foam board insulation. And then on the interior is laminate, fiberglass or laminate wall as well. So the reason why I brought up Black Series is because what they did is aluminum exterior, aluminum interior with an aluminum stud. That to me was a mess. It was terrible. Now, we got those trailers. We would enclose the entire underbelly, add insulation to it, add heat ducts down to the water tanks, reroute the plumbing so it was above the floors into the heated area, duct the heaters like crazy. And we got those trailers to the point where people could go out and camp in them. And I didn't really feel comfortable telling people to go and camp in them below 10 degrees. 0 degrees was really pushing it. When you got to 0 degrees or below, it was like failure was going to happen. I personally had been in one that we did, and we created that Four Seasons package in I think it was 10 below 0 at one point. And the issue was the thermal bridging with the aluminum, right? Because the whole structure is aluminum. So the hot and cold was just transferring, so all the heat into the trailer that was getting blown in was slowly dissipating outside of the aluminum walls. But for sure, laminate, that is not something that you deal with as much. So Imperial, the fish house market, right? Imperial makes fish houses, and they use aluminum studs. So and they make campers that are claimed to go to 40 below 0, right? I've not camped in one in 40 below 0. I have camped in one in 10 below 0, and they all have aluminum studs. So I don't aluminum studs is not an issue. And the way I've seen the fish houses get put together, or the old X22s, is there was an aluminum stud, and then they put the fiberglass onto the aluminum stud. They would glue that, and then they would hang it there, right? And what Maynard is saying is before they put the fiberglass on, they put an insulative barrier on the stud, and then put insulation in between each stud. So that, in a sense, is might be better than even the fish house style trailers that use aluminum studs. So yeah, you can have a Four Seasons trailer. Almost every trailer on the market that is considered Four Seasons will have aluminum studs. Anyway, you can make more comments or ask for more questions. I've dealt a lot with these types of trailers, and yeah, the issue is not, it's not the aluminum. It's this is what we have learned and experienced is it's the bridging, right? If there's a bridge, if there's a way for it to get straight through, but that's the reason why you put a material that's not metal on the exterior or on the interior, right? So it prevents that bridge. So Maynard, love to see companies doing the right thing. May you be rewarded for your efforts and diligence in continually improving and being customer focused. Hey, yeah, check this out. I got a little picture to send you. I got this from Maynard the other day. I'm going to send it to you guys right now. This is from the RVIA, and this is a very rare award that they just got, the Pause manufacturer. I just sent it to you. See if we got another question for you. Love these rigs. Unfortunately, they are the same price I paid for my home 10 years ago. Okay, sure, whatever. Go to the next question. I'm not going to answer a question like that. I think those questions are ridiculous. It's like, it's just like so not even, like, so what? It's like yeah, and my grandpa bought, his house cost 10 times more than my car did a year ago. It's like so, like, there's this thing called inflation, and there's called location, and yeah, you can go out in the middle of nowhere and buy a house for almost nothing still. As a matter of fact, I watched this YouTube video recently in Italy. They're literally giving away houses because people are like, the population disparity, it's like there's more people dying than being born, right? So now there's just houses getting vacant, and like the Italians are like, shoot, we're gonna have like a ghost cities, right? So they're literally telling people, come here and we'll give you a free house, but you have to like remodel it and live there. You can't just like buy it and not live there. So yes, you can go get a free house right now. So whatever. Sorry, man. I just don't think it's a great question. No offense. Is the reboot shell the same as Pause or different construction? No, absolutely not. I don't know if you just barely tuned in, Sean, but we've been talking about this a bunch. It's not the same shell. It's not, absolutely not. We've been maybe when this video gets over, you can go back and watch it again, and then you'll hear that all. It's because if everybody's still on here that's been here the whole time, I don't want to repeat all of this over again because they're built differently. Oh yeah, plant number 4, 0 code deviation. I don't know. I don't know if you can see this in the video, but yeah, they're pretty much saying that they have been following the code perfectly, and they didn't require them to change anything on their code. And the reason, I'll tell you the reason why that is because they're not just doing things perfectly, they're doing things better than anybody else in the industry right now. And this is something that I really want people to hear loud and clear. Pause by Palomino, owned by Forest River, is now building one of the best trailers in the world. That's just a fact. Like, I'm not trying to be like over hype it or anything, but they're not just building a great trailer. Like, they're building one of the best trailers in the world, to the point that when they're RVIA, they're like the who do you explain? Sorry, I'm trying to think. They're like the code makers, right? They're the ones that come and inspect the house when you're building it. Then they say, that's out of code, that's out of code. That's what these guys are, and they've come in and just pretty much said, your trailer's perfect. I'm not saying that is a wonderful award to get, but also Pause is just doing things above and beyond what anybody else is doing in the U.S. that they're just, yeah, the code guy's probably amazed, like, well, this is way better than any plant I've been in all year. So very, very cool. Congratulations to the entire Pause group, and Maynard especially. He really is a great leader and a visionary, and he's helping move the RV industry hopefully into the future to compete with everybody else. The reality is, like, Australia is coming in hot, right? And even imports, right? People, the stuff from, we used to sell Black Series made in China coming into the U.S. and better than most of the stuff built in the U.S. That was pretty shameful. Black Series is a whole nother story now. Their quality has dropped, and now I would recommend you go and buy an American built trailer over a Black Series. all day long, but just because of the code, the RVI code, right? They're safe and they're in compliance. There's not fire hazards or anything. So for sure, but a lot of stuff coming into the U.S. is really, really putting the U.S. to shame. And when I met Maynard at one point, I can't remember. We've been together so many times now, on trips and adventures and to the factory. But at one point, something that I really remember was he was telling me when he first saw some of these imports, and he just was like, I felt ashamed. Like, I thought America was making good stuff, but the reality is we weren't. And somebody needed to take the initiative to step up and make something that would not just compete with what was coming into the U.S., but would be better than anything else. So I feel like, obviously progress is forever. You never get finished. The moment you get finished, then things start going bad, and somebody else will come in and replace you and make it even better. So is everything perfect? No, that's ridiculous. Not even here at ROA. We make mistakes, we fail, we fall flat on our face sometimes. It's just about getting up and keep going, right? You got to keep on trying to improve. We went to the RV show last month in Seattle to see a pause. Best in the show, in my opinion. Absolutely, without a doubt. They are the best, and that's at first glance when you see them, you don't even quite understand what you're looking at. Like when you start digging into them, you just like. I mean, I was at a show and one guy walked in and he's just kind of like, it's Palomino, so it's kind of just regular standard RV-ish, and I'm like what? And he's like, I don't know, like look at the flooring. And I asked Maynard about it. I'm like, flooring, tell me about the flooring. And he's like, that's the most expensive linoleum flooring that you can buy. Like that's the premium grade. It's the top of the shelf, right? And so I was like, oh wow, like I didn't even know that. And then he's like, what about those panels, the walls? They look like just like regular paneling. It's like, no, they're actually fiberglass and they have a 3D print on them. It's pretty cool, right? And so it's just like one thing after another until you actually know what you're looking at. And that's something that I was really impressed with Maynard, is he was, when we went into that factory tour, it was never about like, oh look, I got option A, B, and C, let's find, this is the cheapest, this is the most expensive, this is good enough, and it's not crazy expensive or too cheap, this is good enough. That was not his mentality. He was like, no, let's go with the best. Now, fortunately, that makes the end product is a very expensive trailer, and it's what you saw at the show. The reboot, I will admit, it is not the best. That's what the Pause 20.3 is, but I think the reboot is going to be in its class one of the best trailers on the market, and you can option it out to make it amazing, and it's going to be better than any other. It's going to be really, really good. I'm really, really excited about it. I'd rather a Pause than a Brinkley. Yeah, was that the person at the RV show? Oh, so I went to an RV show recently, and I ranted about it, and the guys completely cut out my section. They cut out all the Brinkley stuff that I said, and I was like, "Why'd you guys cut that out?" And they're like, "Oh, we're trying to help you, Shane," because I was saying nothing nice about Brinkley, because I went into it and I was very unimpressed, and so I said a bunch of things about it, and I was like, maybe it was a prototype, but they just cut it all out, and I was like, oh, whatever. Now's my time. It's a live rant. This is the real, the raw. I only give you the truth all the time. The media guys cut stuff out when I say stupid things usually, though. They usually just cut out my ums and ums and ums. I'm really not, like, some people are like, wow, you're good on camera. I'm like, yeah, after they spend a week editing it. Really. I'll let's just leave it there. Brinkley, I had not seen a Brinkley, and that was my first time walking into it, and I was disappointed. That's all I'm saying. I then went into a Redwood, and I was like, yep, this is what I expect. Beautiful, good quality. But even the Redwood was not as good as they've been in the past. Everything is kind of in the down. The Roadless Traveler, your favorite X22 owner from Florida here, just stopping in to say hi. Hey man, welcome. How you doing? Hopefully you're enjoying that trailer. I really like the X22s. I think those trailers were phenomenal trailers. Nothing is without its problems. Everybody, this is not supposed to be part of my rant, but please understand, nothing is perfect. Not even your Toyota, not even your Lexus. There's always things that could potentially go wrong. The most important thing that I'm learning, I've been doing this for 15 years, And I can tell you my greatest takeaway with trailers and manufacturers is nothing's going to be perfect. Even the space station, like they've crashed and blown up, right? So it's just absurd, and they're made by the greatest minds in the world, the NASA engineers, right? So the question is, when something does go wrong, am I going to have good support from the manufacturer? Is the manufacturer going to stand behind their product? And so sometimes I get really excited. I see a new trailer, and I get maybe sometimes too excited, right? And I go out and I'm like, oh wow, this trailer is so cool. But it takes time for us to realize or see how is the manufacturer actually going to take care of their customers, right? And that's to us what we here at ROA need to be doing, is being very vigilant and not just finding a great trailer, but also a great manufacturer that's going to stand behind their trailer, because that's going to be your experience in the end. Marcus says, kidding aside, I do like the constant drive for better and smarter. Pause rocks. The constant drive. Sorry, I got a period there. Okay, I do like the constant drive for better and smarter. Period. Pause rocks, especially after a shaky start. Thanks, ROA and Pause, for going to the end of the paved road and onwards. Thank you, Marcus. I really appreciate you saying that. You know, you try your best. You like I said, we fall sometimes on our face and we make mistakes, but as long as you're always trying to get better and improve, I definitely am so grateful for the Pause, the crew at Pause, Maynard, always having this mentality to always, care more and take care of people, and really, like, we haven't had better warranty with anybody else. Pause has definitely been above and beyond. Like, they have been better. Like, they just have been so incredible with taking care of our customers, right? And our roamers, and I think that's super important. Next up is the MDC guys. Those new guys, they've also been taking a really good care of our people. And to me, like, that's the most important thing. I'm so sick and tired of, like, working with manufacturers that won't stand behind the trailers. Because at the end of the day, like, we didn't build the trailer. They built the trailer. They're the one that are supposed to warranty the trailer. Do we eat warranty sometimes? Do we put a lot of money out of pocket to satisfy our roamers, our customers? Yes, we do. But, like, at the end of the day, it is their responsibility to build a good product and take care of it. And I definitely feel like Pause is a perfect example of that. It's all about craftsmanship and caring. Yeah, it is. It really is. And I think that's a phenomenal... is that the end? Do we have another comment?
We're out of time.
We're out of time. So I think that's a perfect way to end. Thank you, Marcus. And also the last comment about it's all about craftsmanship and caring. It is craftsmanship, but sometimes... I don't want to say one is more important than the other, because craftsmanship is vital, but good craftsmanship with no care ends up not being really fun for you, because even the best craftsmanship sometimes can go wrong, like I mentioned already. But if you have somebody that cares and does good craftsmanship, then you just have a phenomenal product and a phenomenal company that you can work with. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I'm really excited about the reboots that are coming. Like I mentioned already, they are on their way. They're probably on a truck and a trailer right now being towed out here. We are getting 2 units. One is going to be the base model, totally base, and the other one is going to be a fully loaded model. And one of them is going to be white with black decals, and the other one is going to be tan with black decals. So yes, there's going to be color options. There's going to be tons of different options, from battery banks all the way from, 240 all the way up to 1,080 amp hours of lithium Battleborn with Victron. Maynard is really definitely pushing things to the next level, giving a trailer that's more for the masses, but also still top tier quality, and putting still some of the best components in it. So stay tuned. Those tours are going to be coming. So if you're not subscribed, you're going to want to subscribe, because we're going to have a lot of cool content coming. And don't forget, go down below, click on that link. That link is going to take you to a landing page where you can put in your information, and we will be sending out exclusive content to you before anybody else. So if you want to learn about the Pause, if you're really interested in the Pause, you're going to want to get on that list, and we will start sending you updates And as soon as they start landing and the availability is there, you can already put in an order right now. At least get on a wait list. But go there and you'll get the most up-to-date, most current information. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.